chief elections officer in the state. And I have to say, it is a huge responsibility because I don't know if any of you have read or saw on the news, you hear all about the talk about election security. International interference is coming our way. This is a major election year with the presidential races. Every election is important though. So for me, I oversee security, the integrity of elections, the process of elections. And the one thing I have to say, and I'm not trying to brag because that's not me, is that in this entire nation, I'm the only African American who oversees elections, okay? So, I take it seriously. And so what I want to do with each of you is encourage you when you turn 18 to vote to make sure that's what you do. So this year is also significant because we're celebrating the 100 years of women gaining the right to vote. Does anyone know what amendment that was? It comes after 18. Yes! Yes! 19th Amendment, right? Correct. He even did the count with the 100 years. Let's show some love. Thank you. So, what we're doing, we have an initiative. I co-chair alongside the great First Lady, Tammy Murphy, who's our governor. Excellent, Phil Murphy. So, we have an initiative, 70 partnerships. Our New Jersey Historical Commission is taking the lead, and we have various activities throughout the state to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment. One of which is in schools. We're conducting mock elections. So, what I have here to somewhat encourage you, when you are 18, what are you going to do? Vote. Excellent. I have here the mock elections, and I just need you to complete them. They're asking 2 questions that you have to vote on. Question number 1. Research shows that students will do better in school if they have more time to sleep. I hear that all the time. A new law could require that New Jersey public schools start no earlier than 8:30 a.m. every day. So you have to either vote yes to this or vote no. And the second question that you have to vote on is, this proposed change would mean that we will not move clocks back 1 hour in the fall. Instead, New Jersey would keep clocks set to daylight savings time all year, with a later sunrise and a later sunset. So do you vote yes to that, or do you vote no? Now, we're about to hand these out, and then we're going to tally the vote, and then I'm just going to quickly call upon 2 folks who have voted in different ways to explain the reason why they decided to cast their vote this way. Also understand that in voting, it's sometimes not only about voting for candidates, it is about voting for questions which are on the ballot, which are equally important. So we're going to give you a moment to do that, and then we'll reconvene with the tally, and then 2 brave students can come forward and explain why they decided to vote in a certain way. Okay, so our vote is in. And should New Jersey law require, if this was real now, these are mock elections. Don't think that New Jersey, the Board of Eds, everybody's convening and say, okay, we're going to do 8:30 already. But I do know the one thing that I deal with as a parent, and I deal with it joyfully, is seeing my kids not wanting to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6:30 to go to school. How do you feel about that? So, the majority has voted and spoken that yes, New Jersey law should require school to start after 8:30. You said no, or you said yes, or you don't remember? Okay. You said no. Okay. So I need one person whose vote succeeded to tell us why, and then I need someone who voted against this to tell us why not. So who would want to argue why yes? Go ahead. Y'all want. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
You voted no, so
you
do you
get
want
up.
to speak about the no?
You gotta come up to the front.
Come up to the front,
And then
speak
you
about
vote
the no.
yes. Okay, so this is a yes, this is a no.
All
Come on up
right,
to the
come
front.
on. Let's go. Okay, since you didn't, succeed, but we're all winners, okay? That's the one thing we know. Because it's important that your voice is heard. You may not win. I lost an election, but you know what? I kept it moving. And if I were to say, oh, I lost an election and it's all over, then, I would not have done things that I've done. So, no. Why do you say no?
I say no because I wake up normally more earlier,
What time do
so
you wake up?
like 6:50.
Oh, wow. That's a good time to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because on my old school, because I came here to this country, I was in Venezuela.
Oh.
They wake up our school do was like 8:30,
Uh-huh.
so I wake up at 7. But I prefer to wake up early because you can do more things when you wake up. And
So
naturally
what
you
do
can.
you do?
I wake up, I get a bath,
Uh-huh.
put my clothes, and sometimes wash the dishes when my
Oh,
mom
okay, nice.
do the.
So you do your chores and everything
Yeah.
like that, get that out the way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
And-
I'm sorry to interrupt. She's industrious in the morning.
And always, and it's better to wake up like earlier because when you wake up earlier, like you are teaching your kids
Uh-huh.
like when they have to prepare to work. Because when you have to work up earlier.
You sure do. She said, I said I'm up at 5:45, and she said that's why. She's speaking gospel.
Wow.
That's right. She is.
You have
That's
to
my
wake
girl
up
right here.
earlier to work, and you don't know if the traffic light is going to be traffic or not, or if the weather is not good.
Mhm.
So that's why I wake up earlier to go to school,
Early.
and that's why if I could wake earlier,
Mhm.
and if I have a test to do, I can study on the morning.
That's
So
right.
I
See,
can
studying in the morning.
Yes. Oh
That's
my
what I'm
gosh.
talking about, in addition to have studied the night before.
Yeah.
Because the brain is fresher in the morning.
Yes.
Okay? All right, so
So that's the reason that I choose no.
I know, and then you know what I also was thinking? I didn't get to vote on this, but I said, if you get out of school earlier, especially when you're in high school, a good number of high schoolers like jobs, like high school jobs, and you're in activities, you need to be able to have shut it down early in school so you can then do all your homework activities, and if you have a job and all this other
And
stuff.
then from later you can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
exactly. Let's show her some love.
Yes.
All right, Victorious, go ahead.
So I voted yes, and my opponent had very well components to her argument.
Uh-huh.
But administrators and teachers and students do so much that they can to make sure that they have assignments, projects, everything they need to do, especially high schoolers who are going into college, have tests, SATs, very things that are important that lead up to our Secretary of State's very important jobs. So I believe that the education and health in our school and our administrators present to us is one of the most important things. So I feel, as the Secretary has said, and she stated before, that health and sleeping gives you a better chance and a better chance to study in the morning, and you are able to have a healthier life and proceed through your life with a better chance of just going forward and moving on in your life. So throughout the morning, I am the oldest out of my siblings. One of my siblings is sitting in the back, Joseph Lopez.
How many sisters?
I have a little sister. Her name is Adame. She is 9 years old.
Oh,
So my responsibility is to get up, make sure they're dressed, make sure they've done their bed, make sure I take her to the bus very early in the
Okay,
morning.
can you look into the camera so that my daughters can understand this concept, the older ones, instead of running from their younger sister? Okay. there
Yeah,
you
so
go.
I make sure she is in Daniel Webster, Theodore Roosevelt, so I make sure she is on the bus on time and prompt and is very fast and well in the morning. So that is my job as an older sister, so I feel it's very important for her to have her sleep as well. And as a 4th grader, she does have many projects and many assignments that she does take, and she spends all night, and I do sometimes stay with her all night to help her with her project. And she does the same with me, because sometimes I have to do projects where I'm focusing on the youth and not just the population of our high school. So I see her and we work together even though we are in different schools, and I am a 7th grader in the high school, but we share ideas, and that's what gets me my grades, that's what pushes me through my school. So I feel that sleeping and making sure that you're healthy, especially if you are a person that plays sports, baseball season is coming up, softball, lacrosse, all these things are so important, and sometimes that's what gets you through college with your education. So I feel like resting and making sure that you as a person, as an individual, as an intellectual, is like you are more like to proceed, and you are more to have that like success in your life, to feel that you are okay, to feel that when you wake up in the morning, you have breakfast, you're ready to go to school, and you're ready to go and try to become a secretary of the state.
Oh, well, excellent. Excellent job, ladies. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so. Other question was, should we stop moving clocks back 1 hour in the fall, making it daylight savings time all 12 months of the year? And that actually won 2. So who said yes and who said no? Yes to this one and a no. Who wants to be brave? You said no. Okay, come forward. I need a yes.
B.
I need a yes. Any yes?
Yeah.
This is called
Next.
Come on down. Come on down. This is called, if you go to law school, this is called the Socratic method, okay? In which the professor just calls on you, and you have to be ready. In some law schools, I know the law school I went to, University of Virginia, you have to stand up when you're called upon, okay? And be present. So my friend, why did you say yes?
I think I said yes because I feel like when the clocks change, your sleep schedule like messes up, and you may like sleep a bit less or a bit more, and it just messes up your sleep schedule.
Excellent. So we can't go to Alaska and all that other stuff, right? You know. But that was an excellent response, because I know it takes me about, let's say, a week or so to get myself together with daylight savings time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And young lady.
I said no because it's like there's scientific reasons that we do change the clocks. It's not just because people are trying to confuse us, and because it might take a week to adjust, but like it's not that hard, and then you get used to it. So like I don't understand why we would go against science just because it might take a week to get used to it. It's just
Excellent. You're right. In all junctures in life, we have to sometimes readjust, retool, regroup, however you want to call it. But if there is a scientific basis, a legitimate scientific basis to something, then why go against the grain? That's the argument. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, so now you'll know that you'll be active voters, right? In every election, right?
Yes.
And we all understand that we are going to, in some way, some fashion, be aware of social issues, become civically involved, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. And